This is the Night Wolf howling at you, and today we're going to look at the Transformers Retro Card Back Autobot Wheelie. This was, of course, a Walmart exclusive, another one of their CancelCon goodies. And in all truth, I think I actually got this one off of Hasbro Pulse's website in this case, too. So as you can see, you know, they do have the original artwork kind of from the 80s, which looks absolutely nothing like Wheelie did in the cartoon or the current iteration of him. And I was so really confused as a kid when I had that Wheelie figure. I'm not gonna lie. I wish I still had it though. It was an absolutely terrible, terrible looking Transformer, but it was still kind of cool too. I'm not gonna lie. The vehicle mode was awesome. But let's go ahead and take a look here. On the back of the box, we see some of that old artwork again. The nice battle scenes that we used to get back in the day. It is a world of constant change where things are not what they seem. It is the world of the Transformers. A world of heroic Autobots and evil Decepticons. Of course, Wheelie does come with one of those mini tech specs that they have on the back of these ones. Autobot, Wheelie, Function, Survivalist, Only the Fierce Shall Live, Cunning and Stealthy. Wheelie is known for his fearlessness and his rhyming sentences. Strength, 5. Intelligence, 6. Speed, 9. Firepower, 7. You know, it's kind of a dark quote he's got there, to be perfectly honest, but very Darwin. So let's go ahead and open this sucker up, shall we? Oh. You know, I wish the plastic was almost all the way off for the on the artwork altogether. And just because this question still comes up on occasion, just a reminder, I like to transform my Transformers without looking at the instructions first, like I used to as a kid. Granted, they're more complex now and all, but let's go ahead and take a look at our little heroic Autobot. And boy, they did not weld these together very well, did they? You can see that split right up there quite well. Wheelie does come with his little Energon. Wow, look at that cheapness there. But his Energon slingshot, which by the way, slingshots are fun to have as a kid too. You know, back before you had to be a certain age to actually buy them in stores. I mean, you could still make them yourself, but I had a couple nice store-bought ones back in the day. So anyway, when we take a look at him, I think he is actually a pretty decent representation of the way the figure mostly looked in the show. Now, I have known that some people have said that if you have the core class version of Wheelie, you probably don't need to buy this version. And I do actually have the core class version, but I never got around to opening him up, and I have absolutely no idea where I put him. Got quite a few core class figures that I packed away once upon a time and don't know what I did. So maybe one day I'll find them. But anyway, so this will actually be a good one for me to have, I guess. The only other Wheelie I have is the previous, I don't even remember what they called it back then. Was it still core class? Like when they'd had the headmasters and he had the spot built into him so you could actually put a headmaster in there to sit and ride. But I don't think he actually came with a headmaster in that case. You remember the ones I'm talking about, right? Bumblebee, I think, had the same kind of thing and a couple other ones. Anyway, let's go on with this, shall we? So, again, he looks really good overall. The only kind of spots that are a little bit sad are the back of the legs here and the back of the arms with the wheels. But, you know, that can't be helped sometimes. His head is on a ball joint. We can move it up and down. We can spin it around. And you can still look up and down a little bit when it's spun. You know what? I was just going to say real quick, they did a really good job of kind of like matching the paint here to look like the image, didn't they? Because you can kind of see where that looks like the windshield from the car road. Sorry, just felt like bringing that up real quick. But yeah, so we got that. We can hinge his arm up and down. Spin it all around. We do have a spin here at the elbow and a hinge. I don't consider that to be a bicep cut. Although that is a really, really out of proportion arm. Almost like Lego Bumblebee. We have just a spin at the wrist here, which is nice, though You can see with that mushroom peg there that could pop off really easy. We do have a waist swivel. We can kick forward all the way. Actually, you know what? He's got a really good high kick forward. And he can kick really far back. And he can squish his nuts. If he had any. Spread his legs like that for the splits. We do have a thigh cut. Apparently Mattel is removing from figures now. We have a single joint at the knee and it bends that far. Pretty much 90 degrees back. No forward. Do we have an ankle rocker in here? Oh, we do move the toes. There is a little bit of an ankle rocker there. A little hard to get to, but it is there. If we want, we can put his little slingshot there. The only issue I really have with this is it's just another one of those things where, you know, because you don't have anything there for him to pull back on, it feels kind of pointless. Which was the same with that little stupid figure that they came with, Grimlock. Which, again, if you got the Generation 2 Grimlock, he came with a recolor of the stupid little Wheelie figure. And I would like to mention, they could have given the Generation 2 one all the swords, because at that point they'd made all the swords, but they did not do that. Okay, my rant for that is done at the moment. So let's see if we can figure out how to transform our buddy Wheelie here. So obviously the arms are probably gonna have to turn like that. Maybe. Because yeah, Wheelie's wheels do come out or peer out. Let's see. We got some flaps on the side here that we can expand. What I'm trying to figure out is how this thing gets out of here. Okay. Yeah, so the back opens up in the back. All right, that was a dumb statement, but that does allow us to pull this part of the windshield forward. So we can flip his front up to cover his head. This should fall down into place there and hold on there. And then we can push this down. And we've got the top of the vehicle mode already completed. Which, again, this is supposed to be more toy accurate than cartoon accurate at this point. Which is why this is darker here. I'm fairly certain this would all be roughly the same color if they do this as a studio series in the future. Now, it looks like we got lots of parts here that fold. So we can fold this up. And fold that also up. Like that. Ah, fudge. We can pop it off. This is the one thing that I'm really getting tired of with Transformers. The lack of something. Like, we got a pin joint here. Why did they not stick a pin in this joint here? Like, okay, this is 3 parts. 3 parts that should have pins. They put it here and here, but not here. Can you guys all see that? Pin, nothing. Nada. There should have been a pin here, so this doesn't pop off that easily like it does. They get cheap about the stupidest things, man. All right, so we got that part done. Oh, shit. These are the back wheels, aren't they? Okay. So then, feet probably fold down. The real question is, how do we... Okay. We can spin that forward. Spin that forward like that. And that creates our bumpers at the front. Then... his legs must... fold here, because we got the crotch piece there that should fit up in here once he goes in that mode. Spin the legs. rotate the arms back or out and back. So we get them kind of like this. There is this little slide here that I'm sure needs to be done here, right? Or was that the robot mode that had it that way? Okay. Well, we got to spin his fist. So the whole reason why he has twist to both fists is because you need it for transformation. Oh, okay. So this actually needs to cover the fist. So yeah, it does have to roll forward a little bit there. All right, so we got this tab. We got that slot, and this tab. So we got to work all of those together to get that into place. Like so. Ah, we are almost at a Veritech fighter form here. All right, so we still got to get the legs forward. They don't hinge any further forward. I don't know if they spin anymore either. I wonder if we needed to move that. No, because that covers that, right? I feel like this is going to be like that one Bumblebee where I had a problem trying to get the leg fully into position for some reason. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Maybe. Okay. And that is why it needs a pin right there. On the other hand, it does make it easier to get that back up in there. Oh, shit. His leg's got two different tabs there. Okay. Because those two tabs connect together to hold that in place. Now we got to fit this back on him. Like so. And, of course, one of the slots is made for holding it. So there we go. We got Wheelie in his vehicle mode. You know what? The nice thing is his wheels are actually pinned on, so he rolls really good. Although apparently something in here isn't straight because he is turning all the time. Oh, and... wait. I'm not sure why that's indented there. Oh. That's indented there because I couldn't get the thing back in place properly. Because it's not pinned on. Hasbro. Jesus. Alright. Got that there again. We got that in place. We got that in place now. Squeeze it so it's all nice and tight. That's no longer sticking down. And something's still not straight because he's not driving straight. And it's kind of weird because his wheels are both angling kind of out from the back, it looks like. Let's try squeezing everything together a little bit better. And yep, he still turns. So the vehicle mode here looks okay. Like, I don't know. It's not horrible, but it doesn't look right to me. Like, I feel like he was more streamlined than this. You know what I mean? And I don't have the original toy, so I couldn't tell you. I wonder how much the original one sells for right now. I should look that up on eBay. Maybe I'll get lucky and find it at the convention. He does have a port up here also, so I guess you could. stick the slingshot there if you wanted. Honestly, I have to say, I do pretty much like this figure, aside from the fact that that one part really needed to be pinned on. I really don't understand why they didn't put the pin in there. There are plenty of other pins on this figure, and that is a part, obviously, that pops off really easily. So no pin there is just stupid and cheap and, you know, the normal crap we get from Hasbro. Because let's be honest, Hasbro doesn't really give a shit anymore. As far as I can tell, at least. They're just in it for the money. It's kind of like the joke I made earlier with the Sergeant Slaughter. Oh, look, it's a blood moon. Let's raise prices. Oh, look, the CEO stubbed his toe. Let's raise prices. You know what I mean? That's what it seems like with Hasbro, you know? Oh, we can save 1 penny per figure by getting rid of all the pins? Let's do that. It's ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. I cannot imagine that single pin, which is absolutely necessary on this figure, would have cost much of anything for them to add into it. You know what I mean? So it's just stupid and cheap and ugh. So, you know, aside from that plaint there, like I said, I think he looks good. It's a nice figure. I have not seen him in stores yet. And like I said, I believe I actually had to order him off of Hasbro, or that I got him off of Hasbro instead of Walmart's website. In fact, I think I ordered both of the retro card backs from that time period from Hasbro instead of Walmart. It's like, what's your choice of poison here? Buy directly from Hasbro or buy from Walmart? It's like either one is just a cluster anyway. And besides, you're less likely to have your figure canceled from Hasbro, I think, than you are from Walmart, who again, if it's a blood moon, let's just cancel a bunch of orders. That really makes me mad. And yeah, I'm still pissed that the Samurai Armor He-Man was canceled from my order. Like, and the thing that drives me nuts about some of these Walmart orders is they don't sell out right away on Walmart's Cancel Con. Really. Like that He-Man, I think, was up for a couple days. So how the hell did my order from the first day when you opened up the sales get canceled? You know what I mean? But again, I'm doing a Transformer review. I probably shouldn't be ranting about Masters of the Universe, but screw it. Who cares? But yeah, if you get a chance to get this figure, I would definitely say so. Since I haven't opened up the core class yet, since I don't know where he's at, I really can't do a direct comparison to that figure like I know some other channels have done. But I would say if you get a chance to get this one, go for it. I mean, if you don't like the toy colors, I am sure they will repaint him in the animation accurate colors, because there's no way they made this mold to only put out the one figure. But I hope you enjoyed this review, and if you did, please feel free to slingshot that like button. And if you want to hear more of my nonsense in the future, and possibly more of my rants about Masters of the Universe and Walmart Cancel Con and all that other fun shit, you can go ahead and subscribe. Maybe even go ahead and tap on that notification bell. I thank you for watching. Peace and love. Although I have a question. If I give you an option of peace or love, which one would you take?